Prosecutors dropped attempted murder charges against a parking garage attendant accused of shooting a thief.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a New York City parking garage attendant who was charged with attempted murder after shooting a would-be thief in self-defense after the thief shot him first. Now, this story is totally crazy and it underlines an issue with New York City's gun laws and the other laws that don't really protect the average everyday citizen, hardworking Americans, and instead embolden hardened criminals. Before I get into the story too deeply, let's roll the news clip. If you want to see this clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio and go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Prosecutors dropped attempted murder charges against a parking garage attendant accused of shooting a thief. Musa Diarra told police he saw Roadie Charles peering into cars early yesterday at a garage in Midtown. Police say Charles pulled a gun when Diarra confronted him. Diarra tried to wrestle away the weapon, and that's when the gun went off and a shot hit Diarra. Police say Diarra turned the gun on Charles and shot him twice. Police charged both men with attempted murder and assault. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office threw out the charges against Diarra.
Now, there was a lot there in a very short period of time. Let me come back so you can see me clearly. Now, as you heard, the charges against the parking garage attendant were dropped, thankfully. But that was only after he was chained to a bed in the police custody for 48 hours while he's sitting there crying, wondering why he's right there. Why did he have to get arrested? What did he do wrong other than defend himself? Right? Because you heard what was going on. He gets shot by the thief. He gets the gun from the thief and shoots him back. They were trying to charge him for possessing the gun for that period of time. I mean, just totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. In other states, this wouldn't even been a thing. You wouldn't have been arrested. You would have been let go. You would have got a handshake from the police and sent on your merry way. Hardworking American citizen doing your job, protecting people's property. You get shot and then you are somehow the villain. Now, you heard what they said. This was the Manhattan DA's office. Yes, that same Manhattan DA. Yes, Alvin Bragg. Yes, the guy that's trying to get Trump locked up right now on some of the most ticky-tack charges I've ever seen in my life. Ticky-tack charges. And that's probably why the case was dropped to begin with, because you got the whole Trump thing going on right now. Trump is going to be arrested today. So the last thing you need, optics-wise, is some man in the bed, innocent, crying, arrested because of your ridiculous gun laws in New York City. Okay, now there's an article that I kind of want to get through here so you can see the man and you can see a little bit more detail and whatnot. Again, this would be in the description box as well. You see the headline: shot New York City parking garage worker who fired at suspect thief weeps while cuffed to bed. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So here is a quote from the man. "I got bullets in me and I'm chained to a hospital bed, but I didn't do anything wrong," Musa Diarra, 57 years old, lamented, according to Myers Parking Chief Operating Officer Michael Corlin, who spoke to the Post. Diarra was shot twice during a tussle with suspected thief Charles Roadie at Carolyn's West 31st Street garage early Saturday before using the accused man's weapon to shoot him back. This, again, it should be open and shut self-defense. I am doing my job. I am a parking lot attendant. I'm seeing somebody looking suspicious, peeping in cars. I confront the guy. Of course, he pulls a gun on me because he's a criminal. He shoots me. I take the gun from him and shoot him back. Why would that be anything else other than self-defense? I mean, what's going on? Some are going to say, well, he shouldn't have shot him. Why? Look, if you shoot me, if you pull a gun on me and then shoot me, I have to, at that point, figure out a way to protect myself. You probably got a wife and kids to go home back. Like, nah, I'm going to end the threat. Now, if that means shooting you, possibly killing you, then it is what it is. I rather would not do that, but what am I to do when you shoot me? Anyway, Diarra was initially charged by the cops in this case, including with criminal possession of a weapon for having Roadie's gun at one point. But Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg's office Sunday dropped the raps. Roadie still faces charges including attempted murder. before DR was cleared. He looked absolutely crestfallen in a photo at Bellevue Hospital obtained by the Post. Quote, one of my first thoughts was a political football, and this gentleman shouldn't become a political football, Carolyn said, as Bragg continues to take heat over his local alleged soft on crime policies. Well, that's a man right there in the hospital bed, chained to the bed. Chained to the bed. This shouldn't be going on. You should be getting treatment without being restrained when you didn't do anything wrong. He did not seek this man out to try to hurt him or anything like that. He was simply doing his job. He gets shot and defends himself, and there shouldn't have been one moment. There shouldn't have been one moment of him having to be like this, chained to a hospital bed. I don't care if it's 48 seconds or 48 hours or 48 days. You shouldn't spend 1 second in the situation, point blank, period. Quote, I can't get my head around necessarily the legal process of charging an individual and having to go through 48 hours for his family and himself. Here's a gentleman who's just a hardworking individual doing his job. You think you're doing the right thing. The altercation happens because of the other individual, not our guy. He's reacting. It's simple. It's very simple. So there's more here. I'll link to the article in the description. But yeah, I'm glad they released him after 2 days. Again, he shouldn't have been there to begin with. And like I said, I think that there was some heat from this story. It became public. And then Alvin Bragg and his office had to do something. Okay, you can't have this man chained up in the bed. That looks really bad optics-wise. The guy was talking about political football because I'm not sure what the political football would have been in reference to. Would it have been in reference to the soft on crime policies, the anti-gun laws, the gun restrictions in New York City? How are you going to charge me for having a guy's gun momentarily to defend myself when he shot me with it? Like, where's the logic in that? You know, I didn't steal his gun. I didn't have it doesn't make any sense at all to me. But like I said, this underlines the whole issue with New York City. And if the case wasn't high profile in Manhattan DA's jurisdiction, and if not for the Trump thing happening right now today, where he might be arrested, would he still have been chained to the bed? Would he still be charged with attempted murder? And I wonder how many guys are in the penitentiary right now on a similar situation. Okay, somebody shoots you, you defend yourself, but somehow you get charged with attempted murder, or a gun charge, or whatever. This thing is ridiculous. Shout out to a lot of states that allow constitutional carry. You don't need all these licenses and permits or whatnot. You can defend yourself. You know, the criminals will follow laws. They don't care. This guy that was a thief didn't care about laws. He was trying to vandalize and burglarize or whatever in these vehicles, and he had a gun on him, and he let it go. So he doesn't care about laws. At what point do regular, everyday, hardworking Americans have the same right to defend themselves that the criminals take without having any kind of laws to protect them? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about this story? Do you think that I'm right, that it underlines the whole issue with gun laws in New York City and other parts of the country? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. You have a hardworking American going to his job every day, trying to bring home the bacon to probably wife and kids himself, taking care of himself. And you got some moron, some miscreant, some lowlife that shoots him. Like, and no stretch of the imagination should the victim ever get locked up. No stretch of the imagination. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.